They're like a brick. Yeah, because there's no moisture in it.
Running in fourth place in the John Newell entry is Bill Brown. At McPhillamy Park, a burst tyre on Brown's car causes the most horrifying crash ever witnessed at Bathurst. Bill tells how it happened.
As I come over the blind approach to McPhillamy Park corner and at speed in excess of 100 miles an hour, a tyre burst on the car, causing it to veer straight ahead into the bank. And I was a bit worried, for the crowd's sake, that the car would sort of jump the fence and end up in amongst the people. There was just crashing and glass breaking and banging and carrying on. When the car finally came to rest, I was still conscious, and Tatus ran over and they started to tip the car up. I yelled out to them to stop, smell petrol, and I asked if anyone's smoking, would they kindly leave. By this time, the crash truck had arrived, and I knew everything was all right. Myself, I felt one of my legs was caught. I didn't know what was going on there because at the time the back of the seat had broken and I was laying down flat in the car, luckily for me. And I suppose I've been there for 5 or 6 minutes and they finally got me out. I had a look at the car and then I went to Bathurst Hospital.
Fortunately, Brown's injuries were only of a minor nature.
Right then, so we're in the gold.
Yeah, the gold XW. So we're just going to perform a shifter adjustment on the car. So the main key with these top loader shifters, and a lot of the issue a lot of people have, when they go to reverse and they pull it out of reverse, they back out somewhere, go for first gear and they jam. So there's a bit of a trick to the adjustment of these. They do from factory have like a pinhole where you slide a pin through, but I've got my own way of adjusting these. So we've got Alex underneath the car and I'm just going to check out the alignment of this. Okay. All the linkages are loose at the moment, so I'm going to find basically just between the reverse and the first and second, there's a little spot there where I can hold that. So that's my centre point there. So I've got that between. Okay, so I'm going to get Alex to nip it up. Alex, can you just nip that up there, please? Yeah. So we've got a base setting just off that. He's just going to nip those, and then I'm going to tweak the shifter from there.
All right.
The main thing we have, with that alignment, especially when you get an older shifter that's got a little bit of wear in the arms and stuff of the shifter, is it gets a lot more sort of slop in them.
Yeah.
So what we do is we adjust them to suit, so it actually pulls it all the way out of reverse before it engages first. Because a lot of the time what happens is you're not quite out of reverse, and then you're going for first and it jams between the two gears.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's nipped those up, so we'll just give that a bit of a try. Just turn the tail shaft slightly. That's it. Okay. So what we're going to check, we're going to go to reverse. Now if I can pull this out and hold it to the right hand side and get it out of gear, and then I go for first and it won't go in, that means that the shifter's going to jam when the customer's in the car. So the main thing I want to do is I adjust this reverse gate so it pulls it out further before it allows you to go into first gear, and that'll stop that doing that. And then we tweak the third and fourth accordingly. I like to have them just slightly angled on when you're going across, and then that way when you're going second to third, it's just a nice transition. It's not too much of a pull it out, go across.
Sure.
And then, especially when you're changing quickly.
There's enough of a distance there anyway, isn't
there? There is, yeah. Especially when they're worn out, you'd be surprised how much wear they get in them.
Yeah.
Okay, just back off the reverse there, Alex.
Was that just a light bulb moment that you found that you were able to do it that way, or just experimentation?
Experimentation, really.
Yeah.
Just over the years and adjusting them, and I'd have a customer say, "Oh, my shifter's starting to jam again," and I'd tweak the adjustment on it and just learn how to adjust them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to tweak that. Okay, just nip it there, Alex. Might take a couple of goes to get it in the right spot, but just that fine adjustment, especially someone that doesn't know how to drive a top loader, hasn't had much experience with them. they'll always find it an issue.
Yeah.
So again, I'll hold that across and we'll see if we get it. No, it's still jammed. Okay, back off reverse again. Back off reverse again. Okay, nip it there. So now, basically, I can pull that out and then go for first, it doesn't jam.
Yeah.
So that's the basic idea of it. If you can do that and you're holding it this way and you want to drag it out and then it goes for first, that shifter will never jam now. So that's the main key to it.
Will that work loose again over time?
No, it shouldn't, unless he does a lot of miles and it starts to get a bit of wear in it.
Yeah.
But basically, whenever I drive a shifter on a top loader, always I pull them out of gear like this and push across.
Yeah.
And that's always, even on a worn one, if you do that and you push away from you and pull it out, it's basically pulling it all the way out of reverse and then it's coming across and you'll never have a problem going into first gear. So that's the way I like to do it. It's just habit. Even I'll just be normal driving and I'll just pull it out like that.
Yeah.
That's the way I've learnt to do it. So that's the main issue people have with them.
Cool. That's right. Cool.
That feels pretty good, Alex. Tighten them all up there, please.
You'd say that third would generally be over a couple of more degrees on a standard.
Yeah, so you got your gate across and I'll generally bring the third just slightly forward, not much, it's just a little tweak forward.
Yeah.
So that way when you're coming across, you're sort of going like that instead of pulling it out, trying to get it across and then forward.
Yeah, cool. All right, nice one.
Just makes a bit faster shifting too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep.